to Ladies Night. Ladies Night. It is your remaining shop monkeys checking in.
We are the survivors.
We're the survivors. Checking in for another Ladies Night, and this time we are well equipped with ladies. Not even sorry, it never gets old. But this time we have an extra added feature. Are you ready for this?
Boo-ha!
Boo-ha!
What happens when we're unsupervised?
That's right, we are fully unsupervised today. Everyone else is on their way to East Coast Hunters Convention. Woo! So we're holding down the fort. So we're going to do the quick romper room and say hi to everybody. Big Dog Mask, hello. Sean Fenner, evening all. Zach says hello. John Sheffield, hey all. Maxonville Manor, hello everyone, hello. Hugo Cordier Lette, hello. Haunted Swamp Adventure says hi Camacho. Shot of tequila for the ladies. Yes. John C says hello ladies. Karagoff says evening creepers. Big wave from the UK. Edson Glue says hello. Shannon Hops says after an 8-hour delay, Team Hops is boarding. Yay. We are yeah, you were stuck in the airport all day. Brutal. Camacho says safe travels. Sean Fenner says Sean Hops, safe travels. John C says hello all. Oh, we said hi to you. Rob O'Brien, resurrect. Hello, ladies of the night.
Robbo!
That's us. Ashton Jones says, woo, another ladies' night. Sean Ray was evening creepers. Yay for another ladies' night. Anthony Pavlik, what's up, Weasel? Hi, Daisy. Hi, Camacho's penis and tequila. Drink up. Woo. Karagoff says, squee, ladies' night. Chan says, thank you, ladies, for holding down the fort for yet another Wednesday. Who said haunted houses were not busy in the spring? Not us. Yeah. Yolly. Big Dog. Hello, Stage Jen. Sean Fenner says, Alex, is that the real tree cow print? Get him out there. It's the same boo-ha.
It is.
You have to come in from the other way. There you go. Boo-ha. Oh, wait.
Boo-ha!
The best part is we can't actually hear it when we do the thing.
We hear it in our minds.
So we're just trusting that it sounds correct and that it is long enough. So yeah, she also got cow print socks on. Let the record. Anthony says, boo-ha. Correct. That's the phonetic pronunciation of that. So, what we're working on tonight is.
I can feel Alan shaking his head around me.
Listen, the best part. Roses throws Mardi Gras beans. The best part is you're not here, so.
No, we can listen to Wicked.
The whole time. There's gonna be show tunes happening. You got no idea. All right, so let's do. Ooh, not that one. This one. There we go. So we are going to get this Kelpie up and going. So we're working on Kelpie tonight for the Mythical Monster Museum, and we're very excited. Our old Kelpie, well, I'll come show you in a second. He's seen some stuff. This. Well, okay, so let's see. Oh, he's all sticky. He's all sticky.
Ask question.
Maybe we can prop him up on a latex bucket so we can get him. I mean, I guess I could work on him like this too. We can move the camera.
Oops, this one's locked. Oh, whoa.
Give him the smoochies. We might just have to flip him up and hope for the best. We'll move the camera. We have the technology.
Nick.
Rob says, I'm currently driving through somewhere in North Carolina on my way to East Coast Hunters. Hey! Yeah, Runebug just left here. Looks a bit phallic in the thumbnail. Yeah, do. 2 shakes. We fix. Wait, he's gotta go all the way up.
I feel like
Big Dog says, there's a bad joke in there somewhere. Summer maple, yeah, it does look a wee bit phallic. And there's big weather between here and the East Coast. I'm guessing that was the reason for the flight delays. I am sure. I'm certain that's what's up. Okay, so step one, we're gonna
I
lock.
wonder whose hair this is.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Anthony, behave. This is flared bass, yeah, man. As is the way. All right, we fix. Zoop. There we go. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is spray this guy down with some Loctite. I think maybe just ditch the picture-in-picture for a moment. Just do the tripod cam. Tripod cam. Ta-da. So we're gonna Loctite him some new headspace, and then we're gonna start mixing up some freeform air from Reynolds. Camera. Hugo says, ooh, ah, very cool. Edson says that Mad Hatter table was on point. Correct. It were. So we're gonna stand back a little bit. See what we're working on. And we're gonna give him some more head gun. If you want to start mixing up the air stuff, I'm gonna find some gloves also.
I'm gonna double glove because I know I will eventually take one pair off.
It's true, and then have to
And
put another
then,
pair in.
because my hands are sweating, it will take 10 minutes for me to get another pair on.
The struggle is real. We got baby time.
That makes a pace.
That's true. Yeah, we just had somebody pick up the book today. Farrah's gonna be disappointed. She was like, "Wait, is the book not for sale?" I was like, "I don't know. Might have already gotten sold." Oops. Now we're gonna see if this Loctite that was stuck back there with a patented Allen screw on the top. You're good, man. We're just back here in the shop. So we're gonna see if this is actually gonna release its contents or not. No way, big money. Big Dog says, okay, why is it off center? I suspect it's slightly off center because it's really long. Like, because it's supposed to be, this is an elk form. Anthony says, Roger Wilco, over and out. Roger, what's your vector, Victor? He looks like he is intended to be mounted kind of looking at you a little bit this way, as opposed to straight on.
It is a taxidermy.
Yes, this is actually a taxidermy mount, and Alan, I did ask where it is from, and he did tell me, and I'm sure when I'm absolutely covered in goo, someone's going to ask, and I'll have to go look it up. But we do have that info, and we will put it in the chat. Squaresies. Hey, success.
This is equal parts. Right?
Yes, 1 to 1.
Alright, here's some. I wish I had a little ice cream scoop.
I'm just going to roll out a bit and hope for the best. Let's see how she do. Okay. Screw back in.
Ooh.
Hope for the best. Anthony says, forbidden ice cream. So we've gotten some head shaped filled in. We're gonna see how much this scoops up. spraying him with some water, which I checked earlier to confirm is in fact water. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
And we'll see how she, ooh, it pushed the screw out, that's funny.
Stuff is flakier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's real soft. Big Dog says, okay, what are we making? We are making a new Kelpie. And so now we've got this foam, I'm gonna bring the old Kelpie and show you what we're working with. Oh, mixy. All right, come in behind. Come on over here. This is our previous Kelpie. Ooh, ah. Isn't she lovely? But she's seen some better days. You can tell by the little floppy ear bit she's got going on there. So we've ordered this lovely new elk headphone. She's so standy. All of the spines in this are very pokey. So we've got a new boy, and we're gonna get him all zhuzhed up and take him out to the Mythical Monster Museum. Whoa!
Your toupee's falling.
I was too fast. It was too quick. Should have sprayed my hands with water. I made this a little easier. Things are fine. Listen, it's fine. This feels like some old ass Loctite. I wonder how long this has been.
Yeah, she's doing a solid slide.
She is doing a solid slide and not much in the way of a floof. Curious. We're gonna see how she do. Glove pair the first. Toast.
It looks delicious.
This is in fact the forbidden ice cream. We might have to figure out a way to prop it up. Alexa, stop. So. Let's slide a little. Things are fun.
Well, the first meatball's ready.
All right, we're totally mixed.
Okay.
No swirly bits of white in there whatsoever. This stuff is, show the camera. This stuff is like a 2-part epoxy clay, kind of, except it's very, very, very light. And when you're mixing it up, you gotta make sure that it is totally incorporated, because if it is not, it will not stick. As you might be able to tell from the stuff that we had here and then pull out. It did not get, oh no. Listen, let the record reflect, I did not stick my whole hand out there to catch that. In another life, I probably would have done that and that would have been done. Things are fine. Big Dog says gravity sucks. Correct.
Take one.
All right. It's fine. Things are
Here, Kelpie.
fine. Sir. I'll have you know, that was an unauthorized drop. Gravity wins. I'm just gonna scoop it. I'm just gonna scoop it back up and put it on there. First, I'm gonna spray my hands down. We might have to pick it back up anyways. Okay.
Ready for this?
Yes. Things are fine. Will you stay there? I kind of feel like maybe you're not gonna. We're gonna find out. We'll find out together. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is expanding much at all. And it's humid as heck today, so you'd think that it would. This is possibly an old boy. Dark and Drakon says it purposely waited for you to take your gloves off. Yeah, I think it might have. But Kelpie and I are already enemies. We're gonna have tonight's drinking game is how many pairs of gloves does Stacy go through in the course of this. We're gonna find out together. Sean says, I'm sure most of us know what a blob of Loctite sounds like when it hits the floor. Yeah, as is our way. I'm like kind of wondering if this is gonna kick. I mean, surely it'll kick. Sure.
Well, we got 2 hours.
That's true. We got 2 hours. We're gonna find out. This is, I think that the official motto of a regular Stilby slide is gonna make stuff, and the motto of Ladies Night is F around and find out. It's fine. You're gonna stay up there, yeah. You're gonna. Intense eye contact.
I think she's gonna stay.
I think she's gonna stay. I believe in you. Spring break. There's the screenshot of the
I don't see any sliding. Current.
So you just stay there, ma'am. Maybe we'll go get fresher.
Or one job.
Yeah, you got one job. These are smalls. Yeah,
Medium
yeah.
job.
Yeah, that didn't really proof up much at all. That's okay. That'll be on the inside. That's for dessert. So who all is going to East Coast Haunters Convention? Sound off. We know the Hopses are on their way, finally on a plane after 8 hours in the airport today. Rue and Bug are heading that way. Rob's on his way. Anybody else? I guess I will join you in this adventure of powderiness.
What phone are you supposed to be on here?
Is he messaging you?
Group sending us Instagram things.
You and me? Fun.
You know what happened the last time?
Oh no! The last time he got pulled off of the Instagram thing, we made these giant banshee things. It's great. Sean Fenner says, I'm teaching a seminar Saturday morning. Heck yeah, what are you teaching? You're fully behind the... Just a little peekaboo. Just a little peeky peek, a sneaky peek. Maybe I'll move the camera back. So. Very pleased to get the buttons reconfigured today. I don't know what was going on with it, but it wouldn't work last time. I got it functional today. That's pretty close.
Stick to the thing.
Is it not wanting to grab?
No.
Okay. So we might try and rough it up some. Do we still have those, the little yellow handled scraper boys? Okay. Yeah, we might.
Like once you get it on there, like
Yeah, it stays.
If it's in a big enough blob.
Mm-hmm. But he's wanting to cover this whole thing in this. So, Sean Fenner says it's a character creation class called Monsters and Mayhem, designing iconic attraction characters. Heck yeah, that's awesome. All right, so now we've got our 2 equal parts. We're gonna drop it on the floor just immediately.
That's what I did. It sticks to the gloves real good.
It does stick to the gloves super good. It doesn't stick to nearly anything else. It's fine. We're gonna make it work. It'll fit. We'll make it fit.
Well, shoot, if we're covering this whole thing.
Yeah, might as well get in there. I think it might stick better if we rough it up some. This is a pretty smooth
I think so.
foam. Sean Fenner says, sure those 2 equal parts didn't come from the goat junk? Oh no they didn't. But I will show you guys after I get this this section on. I'll show you guys the goat balls from 2 weeks ago. Are slow. I've partially emptied the goat balls. Doesn't sound any better.
And it's not even a lie.
No,
Like,
no, they're only half full now. They had some sort of like hard substrate in them, and I discovered that if you toss them up into the air, it would smash that. And so I did several times. It only got about half of it out though, and it cracked the skin of the sack. And so I'm considering soaking the goat balls and seeing if that will make them the stuff inside melt out. It seems crumbly, kind of like a clay, and not like a cement or a concrete or a plaster or something. So it might soak out, and it might soften up the skin, so I could maybe sew it back together a little easier without it cracking. Soften it up a bit. This stuff is so cloud soft. Yeah. The yellow boy is, I think, the one I was specifically thinking about. But
We used to have more than one.
yeah.
Now it's only
Big Dog says, no, it's a dice cup. Very nearly. It's still half full. Okay, I'm going to show you. I don't know if you guys can see this well or not, color gradient wise, but like there is still this is white and gray colored, and as you're mixing them together, like there's still a little striation in that. That means it's not all the way mixed yet. So you keep going until it is totally uniform in color. I like that it looks like his brains have been scooped out the back of his head.
It is
Just sort of
sliding.
a little slidey slide. Right, I want to mix this stuff in the exact same way that I mix the two-part, like the epoxy sculpt stuff, and it's too soft to do the roll and flip and smash. It just doesn't do it well. It seems to do better with like fold and press. This is a fairly new material for us, so we're still learning the correct way to do it. Is it do? Straighten it up a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Let me see that. Focus on this back side. Off a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. If you,
A little silver one.
Jennifer Pugh says, "I'm sorry, I'm late. Did I miss the cow print reveal?" And she's got cow print socks on. Sean Hunter says the foam in the head looks like it's sliding off. Yeah, a little bit in slow motion. We're gonna get it. For the moment, this stuff takes a while to kick. What does the thing say? It says blah blah blah. Hot life is 60 minutes with a handling time of 4 hours at 3/8 inch thickness at 73 degrees. Ultimate shore hardness is 50 denier. Okay, so we have a minute. Also, that was Jennifer Pew Pew Pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Anyway, I think I don't hate that. This is both giving it some texture for it to grab onto and just sanding off some of the difference. give that a shot. See if that's grabby enough. This stuff smooths out with water. And it's still not grabbing great. Better than previously.
Grab hold of your kelp, buddy.
Shan't. Let me set this down and move you guys a little closer. See what's up. Dark and Draco says, this is what I imagine a whole band of only washboards sound like. Yeah, that tracks. There we go. You guys can kind of see a little better what I'm talking about as I'm putting this on here. It doesn't want to grab hold of the stuff. Now this eventually will get sticky. Right now, it's just not. It's very cloudy. Like, the texture on this is very...
It's like moon sand.
It is like moon sand. Big Dog says, what about JB Weld? What about JB Weld? Could we use it for this? Maybe. But this is what's been requested, so this is what we're doing. Big Dog, Edson says, wife wants to know, is that an electric toothbrush next to Alex? Yo no sé. When you see it again, let us know, because we don't know what you're talking about. Are your gloves clean?
Yes.
For Jennifer Pew Pew Pew, you should go hit the boo haw, since she just got here.
Boo-ha!
That's for you, Pew Pew Pew.
Electric too. Oh. Puzzled.
It is a mystery.
Oh, it's a can of foam.
Oh, gotcha. Well, there you go. It's a can of foam.
Oh no. These gloves are making my poison ivy itch.
Oh no! Poor Alex.
Because my hands are heating up.
Yeah. You gotta put the latex in and then put the glove on. That'll keep it. Jennifer Pugh says, I love it. Yay! We made that just for y'all.
We were thinking of you.
Well, even though it does not seem that it's really helping it grab any better, I don't think it was a bad idea to sort of smooth out some of the overlap there. Actually, here, I'll trade you before you mix up a new batch. Do the rest of this, and let's see about manipulating this foam on his head. And I'll pull you back so you guys can see what we're doing.
It does work better in bigger clumps.
Yes.
It's whenever it gets real thin is when it wants to fight.
Jay Webster says, evening, folks. Hello. We're gonna. In fact, the water.
That's probably smart.
I'm not going to test it like Alan tests it. Yeah, I think this was just some real old Loctite. I've never seen it do this. It's a gross little sack. That's fun. This is its brain. embedded fin. On the bright side, it did seem to stick to the head really good. So at least there's that. It lives there now. Tonight, Big Dog is drinking Nightjar from Cooper's Hawk.
That sounds dangerous. I don't know what it is, but it sounds dangerous.
Sounds delicious. Jay Webster just thankful you moved the camera, just joined in and left a raised eyebrows as to what I was looking at. Yeah, he is rather vascular. Beautiful stuff, huh? Well, on the bright side, now we also know that the Loctite does not really stick to the untextured bits. Just peel right off there. Nice. Fortunately, the inside of the head was pretty textured. So. Carrie Goff says, I really want to go and see the Kelpies in Scotland. They look amazing. Yeah. It's a kind of a cool critter. Okay. Yeah, it's doing its thing. Try and smooth it out with a little bit of water. Sorry. If you're just joining us, we're working on a replacement Kelpie for the old Kelpie from the Mythical Monster Museum. Let's see, maybe helpful. See now, Possible. This might be making our life a little easier. All right. Look at that. It does seem to be making it a little stickier. Oh, the huge humidity.
Allow me.
Listen, I knew it'd smooth the water, so. Get some more over here, but. It was a little signature.
You didn't even hardly read it.
Mm-hmm.
Something, right?
Eugene something? Eugene!
Eugene, Igene. We all
Oh, she getting smooth. Some other hair in
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
there. Yeah. Now we know. When in doubt, add a little water.
Spray it with water.
Spray it with water.
Start spraying the room with water.
Hey, you. There you go. Dig away. Hopefully we need to spray some more. But I think I'll wait until we get into a spot where we flip them forward. I proceed to stand in front of the camera. I am helping.
Well, my goodness, that.
Now we know. Now we know. This is the way.
This should be in the instructions. This just changed the whole game.
We're ready for a game change. Have you watched any of that?
No?
No. That's one of the other shows on Dropout.
Ah.
Alex is a fresh Dropout TV conversion. Got her with the wrestling. That's how they get you.
I have so many things to watch now.
Mhm.
So I have the D&D website,
Mhm.
and then Teddy gave me more wrestling stuff to watch yesterday.
Nice.
And I was like, it's a good thing I'm at my mom's for pause, because I
Right.
have hyperfixations I need to fixate on.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That looks pretty even. We go back to the mixy mixy. All mixy mixy.
That is oddly satisfying though.
Yeah.
Now.
Now. Yeah. Now that we figured it out. It needed an dampening. Fold and smoosh after a minute. I really want to roll. It does not want to roll. It wants to fold and smoosh. Yeah, this is one of the exhibits that was really needing a redo. So I'm glad we got to pull him out and get him started over. He's gonna look, I think, a little scarier than our previous one. Our previous one is he's a little derp. He's a little derpy. And we've done some repair work to him in the past. I believe just since I've been there, but it was time. He'd sat out there a while. His brain seems like he's setting up a little bit. And Karagov, you said the Kelpies. Like, is that a band, or are you specifically meaning the mythical creatures?
If it's not a band, it should be a
I was
band.
gonna say the Celtic Kelpies. Yeah, it's like very much like moon sand texture wise. I want it to be stickier, which I guess
Mhm.
is the adding the water in.
Yeah, I wonder if you were to like make a little
Incorporate, yeah.
little cave of
Something.
spray,
Yeah,
and
just
then mix.
roll it in. Supposed to, let me get this totally done. I'll give you some and we'll try that. Experimentation. It's kind of the fun thing with new materials. So you can just play with it and see what works. But Alan said this sets up pretty solid, so that'll be nice. I guess we'll see what it's like by the morning.
Forget what band it was, and this will be a big surprise to you.
Mm-hmm.
Dad flew all the way to Scotland to see a band. They weren't coming to America on their tour,
Yeah.
and he was like,
Well, this will not stand.
excuse to go to Scotland.
Oh
Say
no!
less.
Say less.
So that he did.
Karagov says it's the largest equine sculptures anywhere, I think. 100 foot tall and remarkably similar in form to what you have there. They are next to the water and look amazing at night. Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
All right, well, now I have to go look that up because that's awesome. Okay, I think we are pretty firmly incorporated here.
She's pretty smooth all the way around.
All right, so If you
Potato.
the potato. We'll see if adding some water in there does the trick. There. You ready? Show the camera. A puddle.
I feel like I'm making dumplings.
That does seem very dumpling. Jumped right out there. Saw the
Well.
whole thing. What do you see? What happened was.
I don't like this texture.
I was gonna say it sounds unpleasant. a little bit unpleasant.
It definitely is stickier.
Yeah, yeah. So that's new texture versus previous texture. Previous texture versus new texture. Squooge.
Ew.
Oh, conk. It's making the Boston list.
Alright, stick on there, buddy.
Shot. It's not working.
Just stick it to my hand. Alright, yeah. I think I like mixing it normal,
Mhm.
putting it on there, then spray
And spraying it. Okay.
Because it's sticky, just not
On to this.
to this. And it's so sticky that it's hard to smooth enough
Okay, so let's
to spray.
spray it more. Try it now. Big Dog asked, are you going to flock it? No, we actually are going to do the opposite of that. And we're going to coat it in like a urethane to make it look wet and slimy. A wee bit. I think is going to be our plan of attack.
Better.
Because these are a water creature. One of our monster hunters this season is Irish, and it makes me like we always have somebody with one sticky accent that it drags you down to its level of beats you with experience. Vess's Irish accent is not that well this year, but it does make me want to talk in an Irish accent, and my Irish accent is not good, so I won't. I shan't. Stick with my equally weird English accent. That'd be great.
Practicing your American.
Be practicing my American. Yeah, the ongoing joke at well, we started at Screams, where we were not quite as locked into a Renaissance time period, where I was playing a relative of the monster hunter that I play currently, who is English, and it was like I was doing the same English accent, and people always are like, oh my gosh, is that your real accent? And I'm like, absolutely it is, 100%. But I have been working on my American accent. Would you like to hear it? Big Dog says, so it will not be dead, so smoke fog coming out of its mouth or nose. No, I think it is in fact going to be dead. It's still just going to be a head mounted on the wall, but we're going to gloss him up and make sure he looks appropriately aquatic. And he'll be easier to clean too, because it gets real dusty out there, real dusty. And the stuff that is a little more porous. 2 shakes, and I'll once I get this all laid in, I'll show you the previous one. He holds on to the dust like nobody's business. I don't know if I should have pre-sprayed that. Things are fine.
Alrighty there.
We're getting there.
This one. There.
Trying to smooth out this ridge that I got going on here. Big Dark says, cool, the greasy killing mount look. I like it. Yeah. I feel like, not that I would ever go hunt big game, you know, but if I was gonna, and I was gonna hunt something like a hippo, I would want it to look like, if I was gonna display it, which again I probably wouldn't, but if I was gonna, I think I would want it to look like it just emerged from its natural environment, which is mostly the water. But yeah, green.
Just the eyes.
Just the eyes. I'm gonna mount him in a pool. I don't mind dragging this out a little bit on the sides, but to smooth that out some and just to get on with the covering it, which is what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Fresh kill. The stupid hawker, fresh kill. As opposed to a greasy kill. Wow, listen, it could be greasy, we don't know.
A fresh greasy.
Fresh greasy.
That was my dancing name.
Fresh greasy. I like it. Okay. Do a spin around him and see if we're more or less. Sorry.
You need a teeny little spray.
Just a little bit of spray.
Maybe.
Oh, misty. Give it a little bit more up here. It's picking up this pink paint. That's funny. We've got a song stuck in my head today that I cannot sing on the air. Demonetized. It's part of me is like, I wonder if we watered this down enough, if we could apply it with a paintbrush. Once you get it pretty undampened, it smooths real nice. Tom Singer says, howdy, Ellen was considering putting my worm in the museum. Did that happen? Not yet. We still have some work to do on the worm, but I believe it is slated to come to the museum. We're always sort of just adding new things in all the time because ostensibly we're hunting new creatures all of the time as monster hunters. Which is our job. Okay. Smooth. I guess I'll give you this. Can you reach this, or should we kick that forward? reach that okay?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this, and I'm gonna go find some more Loctite and see about giving him more. Now that he has a base. Doesn't need much more, but he needs some more.
Those little brains.
Mm-hmm. Tell a story, Alex.
That's what I was like, this is coming. What is my recent story? Oh, I drove the dark hour Silpies? Whichever company, I don't know. Drove the van the other day, like last week. It was terrifying. It was like the biggest vehicle I've ever driven. I waited till 6:30 to leave to try and avoid all the traffic because just in general, I like driving. I don't like driving around other people. It's the other people that makes me nervous. But yeah, and it wasn't bad. I did it. And I was very proud of myself. I drove it all the way back. And then the next morning I found the aux cord. So then naturally I had to listen to the Wicked soundtrack on the way here. And Alan was not pleased that I was listening to show tunes in the van.
Oh, Papa. No tolerance
Yep.
for show tunes.
But Papa was not here. So
That's good.
Alex got to listen to show tunes in the van.
Yeah.
It made Shannon laugh, and that's all that matters.
We also had this out here. This is a different one. Worth. I don't know what that is. Big Dog says, so a song you can't get out of your head, try Barbie Girl. Listen, this is so worse than Barbie Girl. You know, this poofed some. Maybe we'll just go with that original can and we'll. Because I'm loath to open a whole new can for just like a little bit. But yes, Big Dog, life in plastic is in fact fantastic. Now my hands are sweaty. It worked.
We have a family friend that also has hyperhidrosis.
Yeah.
And her and her husband came up and was talking to my family on Sunday. And her husband like came up and shook my hand. And before he shook my hand, I like wiped my hand off. And she was like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. Like he's
He also has
yeah,
that.
he knows. Like it's fine." And I said,
My hyperhidrosis buddy. Always trimming down. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
Should I start mixing some more up? Or you got still got some? I steal some. Not very chatty tonight. How's everybody doing? time for wrestle.
Hey Siri, stop. Listen.
You, woman.
Oh, there she goes. Thank you.
It does say we're still connected. I think. Carrie Goff says, is he going to have seahorse elements like a little fellow or just be a fierce horse? A little column A, a little column B. I think he's going to be very aquatic. He's going to have some spines and some fins. I'll get this little bit smoothed out and I'll show you guys his original, the OG. Come around this way and I'll show you what I'm doing over here. Because this is sort of a hard line here and just smoothing out over it. Filling in those little gaps. Alright, so this is our previous Kelpie. Be very careful with because he's very stabby. Kelpie. Kelpie. He's a Alexa, stop. Carrie Goff says, nice, you should look imposing. Yeah, this is his predecessor. So I think this one is going to look a little more realistic. So maybe that's a little more scary, I don't know. Oh no, still quite goofy. It's fine. Things are fine. Just wondering too much force and not enough time. Karagoff says, I love him and want one. He's kind of too cute though. Yeah, he's adorable. I just want to, put him on the block. And I'm not stressing too much about the overall shape of this part of his head, mostly because I know that we can refine it some more with the foam clay, and if we need to make it less than it currently is, we can shave it down or carve it down. But yeah, he's a little back brain heavy there, but that's all right.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? So say we all. It's fine. All right, you gonna trade me for less tall girl parts? I would just move him over here and then take the other side. See about 5 of these spots.
That's a solidified curing spot.
Yeah, I was kind of going over that a little bit just to kind of
Smooth
incorporate
that
work
line.
better. Now I know that we're gonna go back and cover the whole damn thing in this. I'm not too worried. I just wanted to smooth out that little harsh edge before we start to lay it in big. Okay. Silky Slim. It's 7 o'clock. We're halfway through. If you're just joining us tonight, we are. Alexa, stop. Caroline Bowens is hi everyone. Hi Caroline. Oh, wait. Hi Caroline. We are working on a Kelpie that's going to go in the Mythical Monster Museum, and it's ladies' night. Ladies' night. Oh, wait.
Who has the cleanest fingers?
It's me. Ladies' night. I'm not even sorry. Not even a little bit. Okay, so his head is cooking.
It's giving camel.
A little bit, and that's all right. Do you think? I don't think we're gonna get all of them covered in an hour.
No.
Do you think we start on the underside so that tomorrow we can tip him forward and work on the back?
Sure.
Shrug? Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna spin it around a little bit. So the part that we're working on is in fact facing the camera. It doesn't make him look any less phallic, but things are fine. Alright, and gonna get us some more water because I think we're gonna need it.
I'm gonna switch gloves
Yeah.
for mixing purposes.
For mixing purposes. Alright. Get some fresh water.
It, there goes my poison ivy.
Oh no.
I just love the spring.
So, if also you're just joining us, everyone else is on their way to East Coast Hunters Convention right now. Al and Shannon just got on a plane after being stuck at the airport for
8 whole
a
hours.
long time. A long time.
Good old Hannah.
And so now, so Bug and Rue just left
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago, and I don't know, are they driving or are they flying?
They're flying.
They're flying. When does their flight leave?
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
I think.
Gotcha.
But they haven't packed, so they're going home and packing.
Good plan. They should do that. We're gonna get
Again.
some, we're gonna get some fresh lips too. It's fine. But yeah, so they've left us here fully unsupervised.
For the whole rest of the week.
The whole rest of the week.
With no laser.
With no
It's
laser.
like
Oh yeah, we
punishment.
had a not a catastrophic laser failure, but we did burn out a heat sensor, temperature sensor, which will happen when you have a machine as long as in my head, the laser is still like a new thing that we like fairly recently got. So then I was a little sad to read the chat from the tech support for the laser that was like, oh yeah, you have an older model. It's probably not gonna have one of those. And I was like, an older model?
I had the same thing because I was looking at the website
Mhm.
and looking at all the models and like we have like the biggest one. Like there's not another one.
Yeah.
But I guess they make like upgrades
Fancier
every
ones.
year.
Yeah. Listen.
Listen, laser.
We just need you to be functional. So we've ordered the part. Hopefully it will be here soonish.
I hope so. I don't know what to do with my life.
We've got it very laser dependent. It worked. It's the dumbest thing, but it works, and that's all I need it to do. This handle's not that sweaty. You'll never catch me. Okay, so now I guess we need a bunch. So I guess we're gonna get.
I think we just mix the rest of it.
All right.
Getting
We're getting
crazy!
crazy. Sean Riggles, it sounds like a computer. Get it open already, it has updates. Yup. We're gonna let's divide it into two. Like each what's left in here we'll split into two, and that should be enough for each of us to have a big ball. I think I'm behind the thing. I believe in you. Spring break. Elsie, why? Why are you mixing up so much? Papa, we needed to.
You're on a plane.
For science. Big Dog says, who's the guy in the background? That is one of our new distortions guys that just got here today? Yesterday? Fairly recently. We ordered a bunch of new things from distortions this year because of who we are as people. 1980, behave. This is a Kelpie, not a dragon at all. Pat Bow says, hi ladies. Hi Pat. Hope all is well. Roll these up.
I heard a splat.
Yeah, I did. I also heard one. From whence? Lord Wallace says, hi everyone. Hello. Hey, hi, hello. How we doing? We are mixing up a bunch of freeform air epoxy dough. So this is like a 2-part 1A, 1B, very lightweight, fluffy epoxy clay.
Y'all tuned in at a good time.
You did tune in at a good time. It's about to get crazy. That's like pretty close to the same size.
2 solid molder.
The balls. Oh, right, the balls. While you're working on that, Speaking of which, 1980 says I can't get sound to work. Can everyone else hear us? Avocado, if you can hear us. Goat balls. Yes, correct. Behold, last week's goat balls. If you were, week before last, sorry, last week was another ladies' night. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, Alan carved these goat balls off of a goat that he was working on, and as you can kind of see, put you inside there, it's got some stuff in it. Avocado, all right. 1980 sounds like it's just you. Sorry about that, bud. But yeah, so it's full of some debris, and I yeeted it up into the air and smashed it onto the ground, and some of the bits came out. So,
mind you, they now live on the computer.
They do. They do now. Yeah, they're just there, hanging out, doing their goat balls thing until I figure out what I want to do with them specifically. But
now I will never be able to go to rodeo goat without thinking.
without thinking about the goat balls. Not the goat balls. Massaging his brain a little bit. JH says, we tried cycling powder. I think they're dry enough. Squishy, squishy, squishy. Thank you for all of the avocados. Glad everyone can hear us. I've tried cycling power, not cycling powder. Cycling power on the laser. Yes, we have. And we've been in contact with support, and they are fairly certain that it is the burnt out heat sensor.
I got to be techie yesterday.
It was great. Yeah, as someone who has worked tech support adjacent, turning it off and on again was like step
Yep.
the first. We fully unplug it and plug it back in.
Yep.
Yep. There you go. All right, Alex, are your balls even? 1980, this is where he started phone god sound. Good job. Pat Bose's beautiful line on that. But what's a Kelpie? Kelpie, spelled Kelpie, is a Scottish water horse, and they are a monster that steals children. And this actually is an elk taxidermy mount, which, when I'm not covered in goo, I will look up and tell you from when it came. All right, so I think that we now have more or less 2 sets of the exact same size balls. So I will let you pick your poison there. And we're gonna get to Nixie
Away we
Nixie.
go.
Big Dog says, did you try kicking the laser? Why would we do that? Why would I kick my sweet baby? No, we did not kick it. Listen, we save our kinetic mechanics for the microwave. we have a microwave in the green room that really, truly does require that you, like, Fonzie style beat up on it to make it work. And it's always harder, like, than I think it needs to be. Like, for my first pass is almost invariably too soft of a beating. But yeah, so we're gonna cover this whole thing in this freeform air epoxy clay, and hopefully that will give us a nice hard shell on which to paint and make him look all greasy, slimy, gross. But this stuff, you really have to get it, like, totally incorporated, otherwise it will not kick. So if you still have white and gray striations through it, it is not your friend, it is not ready. Show
For
them the
example, no go.
There you go. This one, obviously, which very much still looks like cow print at this point. Oh wait, we said the magic word, cow print. Hold on. Just for you guys.
Boo-ha!
Boo-ha! You're gonna have to go home and watch it.
I am.
Almatra art. Ba ba ba. Hello, ladies. Hi, Al. Glad you're joining us. We're making a Kelpie out of an elk bust. His head's getting a little poofy. Push him down. Push him down. So the first one didn't expand hardly at all. This one is expanding great.
Same can.
Same can. Very strange.
Did you shake it more than me?
Maybe? I don't know. It is a mystery. And again, I'm not too worried about it being overly poofy. If I need to, I can carve it down. Alright, we go again for the mixy mixy. You guys are just joining us. Alan and crew, or most of the crew, are on their way to East Coast Honors Convention. So we're holding down the fort unsupervised.
My favorite.
It is our favorite. Saying before, I really want this to mix like the 2-part epoxy sculpt. And it doesn't want to mix like that. Lord Wallace says, made you a couple of pool boys to need that dough for your leaves. Listen, we are strong, independent women who ain't need no pool boys.
I got chicken.
That's right. She's chicken mama. Almantra Art says, thanks. Yeah, we're glad you're here. It's always nice to get to hang out with our friends. we know that if you guys showed up, you are in fact our friends because the ladies' night in the name will scare off anybody who's not. Who's not. So this stuff has a working time, let's say, of an hour. Blah, blah, blah. Hot life is 60 minutes with a handling time of 4 hours at 3/8 inch thickness. So we got some time.
Feel pretty mixed.
That looks pretty mixed.
I want to throw this at a wall
Yeet.
and hear the split.
The splat. Still needs some go, but also I started,
All mixy.
took a break in the middle. Sort of hard to see. I'll show you guys on the camera. Hers is more mixed. Mine, you can kind of still see some of the striations in there. So we mixed some more.
It's not just a rock. It's a boulder.
And we've discovered that the best way to work with it thus far is to apply it and then spray it with some water, and it makes it much easier to smooth out and it makes it stick to stuff better. So I guess we'll start in the front and just start getting her covered. So ideally, starting in the front of this, we'll give it plenty of time to dry. Whatever we don't get to overnight, we should be able to rest on it tomorrow to get it covered. Nice lady says you need a dough roller. Little known fact about Monster Hunters, we cannot resist a good pun. Or a bad pun. Big Dog says, out of dessert line, now to 10-year McKenna bottle and bond. Oof. We're driving this man to drink.
I feel like you're not the first one.
That's true. That's true. Listen, there's two things I'm good at. It's driving men to drink and putting gray hairs on their heads. Put a lot of snow on a lot of men's mountains in my time. Yeah, right. That's looking like a more uniform color there. I feel like you can't overmix this, really, because it's got such a long pot life on it. It's just so soft. It doesn't want to incorporate like I want it to incorporate. Also, I didn't look at the weather before. I knew that there was potentially some weather happening, but I have not heard the specifics. I remember we're going for a thin coat, so.
Just keep smoothing until I make a hole. And then I correct the hole.
we do a little. Okay, that seems pretty well mixed. The spray. Behold. I am excited and attack. Put the rest of it in here. Just cardboard chunk. Spritzy, spritzy. Big Dog says that's not even the good stuff. Whoa, what's the good stuff? Stick, you bastard. It does not wish to stick. This is the part that I don't like about the stuff. It really does not want to grab on to anything until it's very, very sticky. And then it wants to grab onto everything. The goo. Lord Wallace says it's cheap bourbon and high dollar Pepsi night in Indiana. Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. I think last night I had pineapple whiskey with maybe pineapple juice with a scoop of pineapple sherbet in it. And it was good. It was quite good, in fact. I wish this to behave more like a liquid and less like a solid. It wants to be a solid. And I want it to be a liquid. It says my name.
This whole thing just slid right on.
Mm-hmm. This is what Papa chose.
It just feels.
Big Dog says life is too short to drink bad bourbon. I firmly agree. But also, sometimes needs must when the devil drives. Just stick to the floor. It's fine. It's fine. Things are fine. 1980 says former gentleman's club used to charge $5 for the soda for the proceeds to pour half a can over ice and keep the can. Well, there you go. If you're not drinking at the strip club, you know, what are you doing?
Throwing quarters.
Stay down there. I'm sure Ellen's watching this going live.
Please don't have paid for the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Still better than sculpting hands.
Still better than sculpting hands. Yeah. Can confirm. Just doesn't want to be on there. I don't know if that helped or not.
I don't know either.
I feel like it wanted to help. I do these little air bubble pockets over here, scraping off chunks of it into it.
It's literally just peeling completely off.
And then just do a little squabble tie. Try it that way.
In my smoothing efforts, it just peels. Right. I wonder if my gloves are too sticky.
Posible, posible. Oui, oui, es posible. We have debated the merits of turning this just into soup, like totally dissolving it in water and seeing whether that will stick. You could apply it with a paintbrush.
Okay.
We're sacrificing some bits of it to the floor.
Changing gloves.
Changing of the guard. 1980 says saran wrap and a roller will reduce the sticky issues. It might. It might. Alternately, it might stick to the saran wrap. Because why does this stuff do anything?
In our what?
I'm not having terrible luck with the smoothing. I'm having great luck with the smoothing. I'm not having terrible with the smoothing either. doesn't need a lot over it, I think. Watch, just kidding, we actually get the whole thing covered, right? Surprise! Seems to like a thin layer. Slightly better, maybe? It is a mystery. 1980 says, have a plastic spreader? Maybe. The thing is, it's weirdly grabby. Like it's selectively grabby.
It's literally like not grabby at all, and you don't know when it's gonna be grabby until it.
Until it's grabby. After Art says that a Swamp Thing mask in the background. It is. We sold a couple Swamp Things at Transworld this year. To whom I could not tell you, but do you want to try a plastic spreader? Like surely we've got some sort of palette knife around. I'm not opposed to giving it a try.
For science.
For science. He's got one boob. Lone Kelpie boob. She's a lady. Whoa. Drowning some kids. She's a lady. 1980 says silicone coated tool, question mark? Maybe a silicone spreader somewhere?
Brown.
Like a spatula? Like this would be very spatula friendly. We're getting it there. We're getting there.
Why is this working?
How much of that knot is material? Or is that mostly Kelpie? Okay.
Because it's fairly thin.
Okay.
That's why I keep getting those holes.
Yeah. Progress. Make progress. Karagoff says, not grabby at all until it gets grabby. Describes several several people I've known. 1980 says, try a wet spatula. I'm thinking the latex gloves are the issue. Hey, possibly. Want to go hunt?
Alright, well that works.
You just give them the kitty pats. Alright, for science. I'm gonna get this bit smoothed and then I'm gonna try and make the tool. And then I can show you guys the website that I've been saying I was gonna look up. Things are fine. Okay. Okay, while she's working on that, I'm gonna tell you guys where we got this from. I said confidently that I knew where he sent me that. Did I send it in the main?
He sent it in the chat.
Oh, okay, in the main chat. Got it. Next, Andy says, how did the foam landscape turn out? Good. We haven't made any more progress on it. But Paul asked me to put it away. So, yes. Okay, Van Dyke's Taxidermy is where the elk taxidermy head form is from. So there we go. And now I'm gonna go hunt for a silicone or plastic smoothing device. So return you to your regularly scheduled smoothing program. I'm also gonna shift the camera around to the side a little bit so we can see what we're doing better. Oh, that makes it look worse. you have to have the head in there, otherwise it looks real bad. Oh, so sticky. Your base, stealing your sculpting tools. Don't see any silicone tools over here. There's some plastic. Huh. This.
Whoa.
All right. So, for science, we have a silicone sculpting tool. We have a plastic scraper, and we have a bit of sponge that I think we can get wet and might help with the smoothing. So, pick your poison. What's your first choice? Big Dog says saran wrap I found works good for me when I need to smooth clap out plaster. Possible? I think this is as likely to stick to saran wrap as it is to stick to nearly anything else. We're gonna give it a go. Partly because while I have foil, I don't actually know where there is any saran wrap right this second. So we start with these. Clay. Smooth clay out of plaster. Karagoff says, go science! Yeah. Science rules. Bill. Bill, not the science. Bill, not the science. Sold him a scanner in the airport once. He was very nice. Okay. I will give the silicone boy a go. Well, it definitely sticks to the silicone. I don't know if that's any better or any worse. Is keeping it off of my cup. So there's that. Getting that big lump there. I don't know if that's really doing too much, and I'm gonna have to go back over and smooth it anyways, because I just want the texture. Okay, so it's grabby on silicone. Now we know. I'm gonna try the sponge next. 1980 says, I'm thinking it's probably similar to Bondo. I've only worked with Bondo once, and it's been some years, so I don't really know. We try a wet sponge. It's definitely giving it a texture. That's fun. Don't know that it's really helping smooth it any. Maybe a bit. Alright, maybe some spongy goodness here. Again, that does sort of involve getting it pretty saturated. So this stuff is 2-part epoxy, free-form air sculpting epoxy dough. We got from Smooth On.
Smooth on.
Which might be a bit of a logical fallacy. I don't know, the sponge kind of helps a little. Do have to keep it pretty dampened for that to be effective. We'll try it on some fresh. Nice says it smears till it gets gummy, then it hardens. All right. Was you good? Was you good? Let's try smoothing it. Sponge. Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of still, like in thicker spots, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as it gets to a thin spot, it just peels it right off.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to try the wet sponge?
It's getting warm.
Oh, so it's starting to kick a little bit now. Alright. Do you want to try the wet sponge? It's not doing terribly. Okay. Big Dog says, she who holds this. Ooh, that is getting hot. It's funny, and in the middle of it's already kicking. Oh shit, okay. Well, I guess this is why we're gonna take a whole bunch of it. Oh, it's gonna be cross with us. I'm gonna peel it off of the bits that are hot, 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 hot. And actually, our Big Dog says she who holds the spray bottle gets to spray anyone within reach, just saying. We're learning exciting things here. Hachi chachi. That salsa is spicy. Hot. Pinks are fine. We're good at this. Swears these.
Close the electronic drawer.
Mm-hmm. Good plan, good plan. That's funny, this whole center is already hard. That's wow. This whole middle bit is totally cooked, totally kicked, and very warm. Hachi chachi. That's hilarious.
None of mine was hard, but it was starting to get
Warm. Forgive me if I fall into a hyperfocus here. I do not wish to lose any more of this. I'm already annoyed at myself that I've let it kick some in the bucket. Oh, now we don't mix big bits.
Yeah, I didn't think it would kick that fast.
I also did not think it would kick that fast, especially since it says it's got a pot time of an hour. I guess that's only if you mix little bits of it. And yes, this is already too kicked to to smooth in. That's and I'm not overly worried about texture, because worst case scenario, we could sand this, or we could, we could just build up some more on top if we needed to, but now we're in speed mode. Like a sheep. Well, science is about learning things. We learned an important thing, and that is don't mix a whole bunch of it at once.
How much of yours did you?
This whole,
Whoa!
yeah. I was like, why is it like a mango? Why is it hard in the middle? What is happening here? And you keep
And that's
finding.
weird because like we mixed, like I mixed mine faster than yours.
But you put your whole blob on there, yeah? I left mine in the bucket and just tore off a little piece. So maybe just the condensing of it made it kick
Let
faster.
sit.
Yeah, it got too warm.
Maybe that you gotta keep it moving.
Gotta keep it moving. Yeah, all right. I guess it's good that we have a couple more buckets of this. Yeah, this is kicking. I didn't say it. I just thought it really loud. Things are fine. No, you're already toasty. Beans. Again, if it's a Kelpie, if he's a little warty, that's all right. Is Robert still here? Okay. 1980 said should have applied it like fondant. S'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. Roll and flop. We're learning together.
We didn't catch anything on fire.
That's true. We did catch anything on fire. So still 108. Yeah, this is not actually making me like this material anymore. We made a whole bunch of exhibits for the museum with this stuff previously, and I didn't enjoy working with it then. And I'm not really feeling like I'm changing my opinion here any. It's all like crumbly. Grr, arg. Here's little chunky bits. We got 15 minutes. I'm gonna cook up another batch of this before then. We'll know for tomorrow.
At least it kicked.
At least it kicked. We are emphasizing the, hey, you have to make sure this is totally mixed, because the previous batch of this that got applied did not get all the way mixed, and you peel it all out. And it was all wasted, which is a drag. Nobody likes that. Nice, Jane says, at least you can sand and file the stuff down. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we can even put another layer over this if we wanted to. We don't want to, but we could. If it necessitated it.
I don't know. Put that.
He might get some scaly bits on top of there. He might have some strategically placed seaweed. The thing is, we are aiming for completed, not perfection. Finished is better than perfect. And if there is one thing this job has taught me, it is that I am not afraid to fail. Because in failing, you are learning. We're learning all sorts of important things about this. Failure is opportunity for growth. And Lord, we growing. Things are fine. Yeah, jump in here. See a bit that's.
Well, I got one
Yeah, this
layer.
is we got like 10 minutes left. 1980 says same view that had a King Kong on the 44th floor of the Empire. Oh, that's bad. Funny, but bad. He's all crumbly, cracky. Harumph.
That's kind of where mine was getting.
Yeah.
And I was doing more
Yeah. We'll let
productive.
it,
and
we'll
I
let
was
it
like,
live.
stop doing it.
Jay Webster says, yeah, that's the thinking I had when I came in earlier. Yeah, it looks pretty wangerific. Positively phallic is what it looks like. Thanks, I hate it. Dan McCorson, Hello Carlo says, hello everyone. Hello, Dan. Hey, how's it going? That is still giving off so much heat. That's hilarious.
I mean, you touch.
You do it. Touch the rock. Touch the rock.
Yeah, it's very much like plaster
Yeah.
eating. My
Yeah.
favorite part.
The worms.
Even like crumbly picking is very much like plaster whenever.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting
eaten. You can't do a whole lot.
how much this is structurally. Also, his head got real poofy. That's funny. Okay. Thanks, he says, for those just joining us, this is for a urologist's office. It is not. Although his head did get really big. That's funny. Okay. I think we're gonna let that be until tomorrow. I have reached a point of diminishing returns. Which
Yes,
is
this is still really movable.
that's so funny. That half of it is doing just fine. It's back a little bit so you can see the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of unpredictable.
Too much, too much. So there we go. This is our You got kind of a big brain going on. That's okay. I'm gonna carve it down tomorrow. Yeah, first round, no puff. Second round, all the puff. Bizarre.
A big old big brain thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we haven't got enough time left to really mix up another batch of this and get it applied. So I think we're just gonna call it a little early. And we'll say that is in the service of diminishing returns. So we are super glad that everybody came to hang out with us tonight. On what is it? Wait. Ladies' night. Let's go. Picture. So you can kind of see our still. Okay, this is what we accomplished this evening. We put some stuff on a thing and a deal. We used our freeform air, 2-part epoxy foam, epoxy clay.
Just smooth right on there.
There you go. Yeah, from Smooth On, this is a 2-part epoxy clay, and it requires some finagling. So what we discovered is that water helps a lot for smoothing. It absolutely sticks to silicone. If you mix it up in small batches so it doesn't kick in the bucket, which we did lose a chunk of it to kick in the bucket, such is the cost of science.
Probably use this to put in your goat.
My goat balls. These are my still partially
You
stuffed
get them cleaned out.
goat balls. And they have a little.
Blow out.
They had a blowout. A bit of a blowout. These are fine. Anyway, thank you for joining us for Ladies' Night and a final boo-ha for Alex.
Boo-ha! Boo-ha!
Boo-ha! So,
That's
yeah, it does. It smells like Fritos. I think it smells like dog paws or Fritos. Could go either way. Anyways,
It's sticky.
it is sticky. Thank you guys for joining us. I'll see if I can get some pictures posted of the completed Kelpie once we get them all together for the Mythical Monster Museum. And as a reminder, if you are supporting us on the Patreon at, I want to say it's like the $10 a month level or something like that, you get free admission to the Monster Museum. So you should definitely check it out. That's patreon.com/StiltbyStudios.
And it's air conditioned.
And it's
If you ask
air
my brother.
conditioned. I mean, it's moving air.
It is.
I cannot swear to the
Out there, it's air conditioned.
condition of the air, but it is in fact moving air. So, anyways, good night, Big Dog. Love you guys, and hope you have a great time. Next week, theoretically, knock on wood, Alan should be back in town, provided nothing crazy goes on, and we should have a regularly scheduled live as per usual. But we are super glad that you guys joined us for Ladies' Night, and we will see you guys again next time. Alex, say goodnight.
Good on.
I'm gonna say goodnight, and we're both gonna say, go make stuff.
We're